Greetings, everybody. All right. My name is Ifai Chuku, and today we're going to um, look at living things and non-living things. The subject is science. So the topic for today's class is living things and non-living things. And the in the course of our learning, we're going to learn the meaning of living things, the life processes of living things, the difference between living things and non-living things, and how plants and animals carry out life processes. Okay, our keywords of vocabulary include living things, non-living things, life processes, movement, sensitivity, nutrition, and of course, you're going to take some notes as we discuss the topic. All right. Now, when we talk about living things and non-living things, I have two things in my hand. One is stone, and this one is a young plant. What can you tell me about this? Or what do you observe? What's the difference between a stone and a young plant? Of course, you can say that a stone cannot grow while a young plant can grow to become a fruit tree. That's a remarkable difference between the two. You can also tell me that one is living, this plant is living, while the stone is not living. That's a good difference between the two. All right. Now, when we talk about living things, what do we mean by living things? What are living things? Living things simply mean things that show life processes. Thing must have the complete life processes in it. A lion should have the complete life processes in it. A plant, mango plant, apple plant, cassava plant should have the complete life processes in it. The life processes are one, movement, two, reproduction, three, sensitivity, four, growth, five, the second R, respiration, six, excretion, seven, nutrition or feeding. The life processes: movement, reproduction, sensitivity, growth, respiration, excretion, nutrition. We can remember these life processes using an acronym called Mrs. GREN. Mrs. GREN. So life processes are remembered using an acronym called Mrs. GREN. A living thing must have Mrs. GREN in it. All living things have Mrs. GREN in them, whether plants or animal. Of course, some non-living things can exhibit or show some of these life processes. For example, a car can move. When you kick a ball, the ball can move from one place to another. That's movement. But a car cannot reproduce, it cannot sense the changes in the environment, it cannot grow, it cannot respire, it cannot take in air, it cannot excrete, it cannot feed on its own. A ball cannot sense, cannot reproduce, cannot respire, cannot excrete, cannot feed. So the difference between living things and non-living things is that a living thing has all the life processes which is great in it, while a non-living thing does not have all the life processes which is great, complete in it. The stick is a non-living thing because it cannot move, it cannot reproduce. Yes, It's from a plant. It was once living, but now it's dead, so it's non-living thing. Stone is a non-living thing. It does not have Mrs. Greg complete in it. Why this young plant is a living thing. It has Mrs. Greg completely in it. Animals such as fish, birds, wolf, rabbits are living things. They have Mrs. Greg, the life processes, Mrs. Greg completely in them. Processes are the characteristics or features seen in living things that make them what? Living. Life processes are Mrs. Graham. M stands for movement. R stands for reproduction. That's the first R. X stands for sensitivity. Another name for sensitivity is irritability. Irritability. So if you do not call it sensitivity, you can also call it irritability. G stands for growth. R, the second R, stands for respiration. E stands for excretion. And N stands for nutrition or feeding. Now, this life processes, how does plants and animal carry out life processes? When we talk about movement, movement is the ability of living things to move. Movement is the ability of living things to move. Animal move from one place to another in search of food, water. Plants do not move from one place to another. They can move only their body parts, maybe their branch or their leaves. All living things must move. Either they move over a distance or they move some of their body plans. Reproduction is the ability of living things to produce their own offspring. Is the ability of living things to produce their own offspring. Their offspring must look like them. A cheetah must produce a cheetah. A lion must produce a lion. A lion cannot produce a snake. A snake cannot produce a lion either. A living thing must produce something that looks like it. Human beings produce human. Human being cannot produce cattle or fish. So all living things must produce. The reproduction must be is usually through seed or some of their body parts. Sensitivity or irritability. Living things must respond to their environment. Animals are sensitive to sound, while plants are sensitive to light. Yes, ability of living things to detect what goes on in their environment is sensitivity or irritability. When I touch you, you should be able to feel the touch. When you go outside and the sun is scorching, you should be able to feel the temperature of the environment. These are sensitivity or irritability. Growth. Living things must grow. There should be increase in size. Increase in size, such as increase in body mass, increase in length or width. That's growth. Animals grow. Plants also grow. Plants, when you can notice the growth in plants in their roots and shoots. That is top at the roots. This is the roots of the plant. You can notice the growth here, or at the shoots here. Shoots, and this is shoots, this is roots. So that's where growth takes place in plants. While in animals, animal can grow in any of their body parts. Respiration. Respiration is the ability of living things to take in oxygen. Animals respire by taking in oxygen from the environment. And as they take in oxygen, they give out carbon dioxide. Now, plants take in the carbon dioxide to make their own food. Yes. Animals give out oxygen and give out carbon dioxide. Plants take in the carbon dioxide to make their own food. The reason why living things must respire is to break down nutrients stored in their body. When these nutrients are broken down, energy is being released. so that animals can perform their daily life activities, or the plant can also perform some of its daily life activities. Excretion is the ability of living things to remove waste products from their body. Animal remove urine, sweat, etc. While plants remove oils, excess water from their body. Animals and plants must remove waste products to stay healthy. Now, nutrition, the last life process on the board. Another name for nutrition is feeding. Plants and animals must feed to stay healthy and grow. They should be able to feed, they should be able to eat food, to grow, to reproduce, and function effectively in their environment. Animal cannot manufacture its own food. They depend on plants for their own food. While plants, especially the green plants, can make use of carbon dioxide and water through the help of sunlight to make their own food. The ability of plants to make their own food is called photosynthesis. Photosynthesis. Photo means light, while synthesis means production. It means that plants use the energy from the sun, which is photo, to make their own using materials such as carbon dioxide and water. These life processes must be seen completely in a living thing. All living things must have these life processes, which is GREN in them, and that's make them living. Why non-living things like stone, wood, they don't have these life processes. Even if they have some of these life processes, it is not complete. Mrs. GREN is not complete in them. Car can move, but it cannot reproduce. It cannot sense the changes in the environment. It cannot grow. It cannot respire. It cannot excrete. It cannot feed. So these are how plants and animals carry out life processes. All right. Now, question. In the course of our lesson today, you should be able to know what living things are. Living things are the things that show life processes in them, which are Mrs. GREN. Now, the difference between living thing and non-living thing. Living thing have the complete life processes. A living thing have complete life processes in it, which is Mrs. GREN. While non-living things do not have the complete life processes, Mrs. GREN in it. Now, mention the life processes. The life processes are movement, reproduction, sensitivity, growth, respiration, excretion, and nutrition. You can remember it using an acronym called Mrs. GREN. Give one example of how plants and animals grow. Plants grow in their meristem. The meristem include the roots and the shoots. That's where you notice the growth in plants. While animals grow in all their body parts. Yes, in all their body parts. Okay. Now I'm going to give an assignment. Your assignment is draw two living things and two non-living things and show the difference between them. That's our assignment. Thank you.